combinations as well. Lovely look at that outside trip and maintains the body.
In the world of martial arts, the clash between a kung fu expert and a karate champion is an exciting spectacle to witness. Both styles have their unique strengths and appeal, but who will emerge victorious? The answer lies in the following video. Let's start with Dan Hardy. Long before proving himself as one of the most captivating fighters in the UFC welterweight division, Hardy had trained at a Shaolin temple in China.
I remember seeing a documentary about the Shaolin monks training in a temple in China and decided that I wanted to go. I did a bit of research and I went out there. That was 2002, I think it was. I was going to spend 2 years.
The fighter from Nottingham, England, shared his fascinating journey of learning Shaolin martial arts in an Instagram post. Hardy's deep interest in Shaolin martial arts is also evident from his predominantly orange attire. In the much-anticipated fight at UFC 120, Hardy faced Carlos Condit, a fighter from New Mexico, USA, skilled in multiple martial arts disciplines, including karate and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Dan Hardy.
I like how... Oh! Absolutely! He's out! And it is all! Carlos Condit throw that kind of power in the UFC before. That was amazing!
Next, there's a Shaolin Kung Fu master who's highly renowned in China. Yes, none other than Yi Long. This time, he squared off against a karate master named Young Ji Min. In this heated duel, the Shaolin master managed to knock down the karate fighter like a child. Even the audience present at the arena was shocked by Yi Long's lethal attack. They were genuinely concerned for the fighter's condition after being hit by Yi Long. This moment took place in 2013 during the Wu Lin Feng event held in Seoul, South Korea, where Yi Long faced the local fighter Young Jin Min. This black belt karate fighter was humiliated by Yi Long in front of his own fans during the Wu Lin Feng event in South Korea. The fight only lasted until the second round. Specifically, with 1 minute remaining in round 2, Young Jin Min seemed unable to withstand Yi Long's onslaught. And with a terrifying combination of attacks, Min was left lying in the ring, wincing in pain.
왼쪽은 이미 충분히 보고 있습니다. 예. 하이킥, 일롱, 다운 직전, 왼손 또 한 번 왼손, 다운 직전이에요. 로우킥, 다운 무너집니다. 민영진.
Then there's Shi Yanzi, a fighter who has studied Shaolin Kung Fu martial arts at the temple for decades. Born in Western China, Shi Yanzi has brought Shaolin Kung Fu to various parts of the world, including establishing a Shaolin temple in England. One of the most epic battles in the career of this Shaolin dragon was when he faced a fighter with a karate background named Marcus. Despite being 20 years older, Shi Yanzi proved to be far stronger than his opponent. Indeed, he won the match by knockout, which occurred just 40 seconds into the fight.
是51岁的这个年龄了啊，但是我们的这个拿到。
他的对手盖博瑞要整整大上21岁啊！
好，打到了。
Felix Lee Mitchell, too, is a fighter with a deep background in Shaolin Kung Fu. However, he was a fighter in the early days of UFC, which is why his name is rarely heard these days. Some martial arts enthusiasts might still remember Felix's most memorable fight against Ken Shamrock, a fighter highly skilled in grappling techniques and who also trained in karate. Agile, unpredictable, and with fascinating attack techniques, Zabit Magomed Sharipov is a Shaolin fighter who once competed on the UFC stage. The Shaolin-style fighting technique used by Zabit is called Wushu Sanda, also known as Sanshou. In the UFC, Zabit maintained a perfect record of 6 wins with no losses. Unfortunately, this featherweight fighter decided to retire early in 2021. His last fight before retiring took place at UFC Fight Night Moscow against Calvin Kattar.
The fighters are ready. Most five. We are going to win.
Both are strikers with very different fighting techniques. Calvin Kattar fights like a true karate practitioner, while Zabit employs an unpredictable Shaolin style.
Having to beat like that when there's so much hype around him, a little risky at the end there with the flying.
Next, we have Zi Wei, one of the first martial artists with a background as a former Shaolin monk in the One Championship arena. Zi Wei was originally a naughty boy who often caused trouble. However, his life changed dramatically after he watched a Shaolin Temple video on social media. At the age of 14, Xi joined it and received guidance from Shaolin warrior monks until he became a coach. However, Zi Wei decided to move to Qingdao to pursue his dream of becoming a professional fighter. From here, he developed a unique ability combining modern MMA with ancient martial arts. Zi Wei's decision to become an MMA fighter was the right choice, as he was able to achieve success and join One Championship. Since joining in 2019, Zi immediately grabbed attention by defeating 5 opponents in a row on his debut.
That second round, we're seeing so far in the third, it's really opening the door towards a Zi Wei.
Danny Kinghead was the first opponent to defeat him, ending his 5-win streak in 2020. Performing in front of his supporters in the Philippines, Danny, who has been training in karate since childhood and has won several local tournaments, was able to excel in various aspects and achieved victory through a unanimous decision. The first round opened with Danny launching strong striking attacks. Wei managed to catch Danny's hard kick and counterattacked with punches. Then, they engaged in intense grappling action. The first round was not much different from the second round. Danny consistently targeted his opponent's legs and attacked with kicks to maintain a safe distance.
And he had to keep going back to that leg, just stomping on it. Zi Wei's got to start checking some of these kicks.
His efforts to launch several kicks toward the legs began to succeed, but the Shaolin fighter managed to bring him to the ring's wall with a clinch. Zi continued to press his opponent with painful punches. However, Danny kept defending well.
Tonight, but can he keep the streak alive? A little shoulder thrust there from Zi Wei.
Midway through the third round, the fight was momentarily halted when an unintentional head strike from Wei hit Danny, who was on the ground.
Of Danny Kinghead, but I want to see him land some heat with those hands.
When the fight resumed, both immediately exchanged quick attacks, and Wei once again managed to corner Danny. But the athlete from China encountered a problem again when his punch hit the back of Danny's head.
Take a look at it again. You can see him. You can see clearly Kinghead was covered up.
As Richard just explained, he cannot hit.
Zi Wei was actually capable of ending the fight well. However, with the 2 warnings he received, he couldn't prevent the judge's decision to award the win to Danny Kinghead.